Good afternoon, everyone. I'm John Rosef Montero, and allow me to share my knowledge about hepatitis. Hepatitis is the inflammation of the liver. Liver is considered the largest organ inside our body, and when a person gets infected by the virus, he or she may have difficulties in digesting food, storing energy, and removing toxins inside his or her body. According to Center for Disease Controls and Preventions, in collaboration with World Health Organizations, about 400 million of people living with the hepatitis disease, and 6 to 10 million people are newly infected annually. And it's quite questionable because hepatitis is incurable diseases. So hepatitis is considered one of the fast increasing rate diseases in worldwide. There are 3 types of hepatitis: toxic, alcohol, and viral. Toxic is caused by excessive intake of drugs, and alcohol, of course, is caused by excessive intake of alcohol. And what I'm going to talk about is the viral hepatitis, which is caused by certain viruses. These are the stages of infections. When a person acquires the virus or get infected from healthy liver, it will lead to acute infections, or also known as the acute phase. Acute phase or acute infection, there are no symptoms at all in the first week of infection. And from 400 million of people, 20% from that number will show symptoms initially. And the other 80%, they don't know that they already acquired the disease, which is the hepatitis. And the last stage is the chronic infection, which is 20% clear the virus and 80% virus continues to damage liver. And when you acquire the hepatitis disease, and it will lead, and it is in the stage chronic infection, it will take years to show the symptoms. So when the symptoms initially you notice initially, the liver may already be damaged, and it will lead to some complications like liver cancer, cirrhosis, and worse is liver-related death. Symptoms: we have the acute and chronic. Acute is include malaise, muscle and joint ache, fever, nausea or vomiting, loss of appetite, abdominal pain, and to chronic infections, we have malaise, tiredness, weakness, weight loss, peripheral edema, and ascites. According to World Health Organization and CDC, the answer to the questions why hepatitis is considered the fast increasing rate diseases worldwide is because 95% of people with hepatitis do not know they are infected, and due to lack of awareness and poor access to hepatitis tests. So when a person is infected and he or she not knowing that he already acquired the disease, he may transfer it to other persons. So it is considered as a fast increasing rate diseases worldwide. Global burden of hepatitis: about 1 million people die each year from causes related to viral hepatitis, and 2.7 of all deaths is caused by acute hepatitis B and C, and cancer and cirrhosis of the liver. Hepatitis A. Hepatitis A is caused by hepatitis A virus, and it is highly contagious, and it may spread from person to person in different settings. And hepatitis A is transmission is fecal-oral, so it came from the infected feces of a person who has hepatitis A. This is what hepatitis A virus looks like. The clinical features of hepatitis A is when a person acquires this disease, he or she may be undergo the incubation period in 2 to 6 weeks, and no evidence of carrier state or progression to chronic liver disease. Hepatitis A can be cured by lifestyle precautions or some vaccines or immunizations. Hepatitis B can cause lifelong infection, cirrhosis of liver, liver cancer, liver failure, and death. And transmission is parenteral. If a mother is infected with hepatitis B, she may transfer it to her child during childbirth, and nearly 90% of infants who get the hepatitis B will carry it through long-term period. This is what hepatitis B virus looks like. The clinical features of hepatitis B: incubation periods will last about 2 to 6 months, and the effects range from subclinical infections without jaundice, fulminating hepatitis, acute hepatic failure, and death. Hepatitis C, known as non-A and non-B hepatitis. Transmission is through blood and blood products. And persons at risk, those who have received blood from a donor who later tested positive for HIV, HCV, illegal IV drug user, long-term renal dialysis, healthcare workers exposed to blood. HCV or hepatitis C is have co-infections with HIV, because these types of hepatitis can be acquired through sexual contact and injections of drugs use, or use needles for drugs, illegal drugs. This is what hepatitis C virus looks like. Hepatitis C clinical features: 80 to 90% of infected persons have no signs or symptoms. The other 20% or 20 to 25% will defeat the virus in short term, and the 80%, the remaining 80 will carry the virus inside their body for a long term. The treatment: there's no specific treatment for hepatitis A. Your doctor will only advise you to some lifestyle precautions like wash your hands or avoid intake of too much alcohol. So hepatitis A is not like hepatitis B and C. What treatments should do? Hepatitis B treatment: a patient with HBV needs to rest and abstain completely from alcohol. The doctor may prescribe an antiviral agent called interferon or other antiviral suppressive therapies. Hepatitis B and C may be cured by immunizations or vaccines. So, like what hepatitis C, the difference is in hepatitis C, you may take your medications for long term, and when it is taken correctly or in a proper way, the cure rate is very high. So according to WHO, or in collaboration with CDC, no hepatitis and get tested. That's all.